It's
Hello,
fine.
we're live testing. People hear us. Oh, I have the YouTube open in another tab, and it's like,
Uh,
why I'm hearing myself? And I hear myself more. Hello, everyone. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
So today I'm here again. Once more, and I'm gonna hide you now, Norton, because I forgot to hide you. But I'm gonna bring you
Okay,
back
okay.
in a minute.
Okay.
Pretend I didn't see him. You pretended you didn't see him, okay? And this is Sean in the bed. Hello, everybody. Good evening or good day if you are somewhere in the Pacific, I suppose. Hello and welcome to our second edition of the JS Builders. So we are a meetup focused on JavaScript and its ecosystems. We're here to share knowledge, meet new people, learn new things, and especially do some networking. So, um, what are you gonna do today? I'm gonna talk to you a bit what we're doing here. Then I'm gonna bring our guest, and in the end, please, while he's giving his talk, just write down any questions you have. You can bring in the chat, because after that, I really want to like have a conversation with our guest. He can ask things about his talk, but even if you want to ask things about his job, and the idea is not only learn what he has to teach in his slides, but also learn like whatever we can from them. Um, so yes, I'm just waiting a little bit here. So if you don't know me, and if you know me too, my name is Pachi. I work as a developer relations lead for Webcrumbs, and this meetup is sponsored by Webcrumbs. If you're not aware what a developer relations is, we are people that do this. Like we connect with the community, we bring content, we do all this connection with other people. And the idea here is really bring something for you to learn, but also help our guests to get to know new people. And Web Crumbs, we are a startup. We are building an open source tool. Um, the idea is build an ecosystem of plugins for JavaScript. So if you have working with any JavaScript technology, the idea is that you can build and use plugins. Like you have a website and you want to add a chat on that, you can just you'll be able to just go to your library, copy a line of code and that to your website. And if you want to build your own plugins, like you're super welcome. And now I'm gonna bring our guest. That's how to say Vitor is something English. Hi. Like I don't know how to Norton.
Hi.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Norton. Only my mother calls me Vitor.
Welcome. Thanks so much for agreeing to be here today.
Welcome for the
Uh,
invitation.
Super excited to talk to you. And before we get started, I need to go to Plan B. I'm just gonna share with you all a little slide deck and talk a little bit more of what we're doing. Share slides. No, slides. This the good thing is I can try this tool, so like I'm learning what is free and what's not free. And lots of things are not free hackens. So let me end here and show string. Okay, so let me see. Is everybody seeing? Can you see that?
I
Oh,
think
yes, it's
so.
so again, welcome to JS Builders Meetup. We chose this name because we want people to build things. I think it's fun. Like to be a builder, you don't have to know a lot, and if you know a lot, that's also great. But the idea is to make you leave this meetup with the idea to build new things and be inspired to build. And hopefully, Norton will help us with this.
Yeah.
So, I want to share the video with Julia is my CEO. She recorded a video with a tool that we launched recently called Frontend AI, where you can basically just ask AI to code for you. No, it's not going to steal your job. Okay, you still need to like fine tune things, but it's a good tool to like to do some boring jobs. And we have a video for you all. And okay, actually gonna just share this video in the chat for you all to watch later. But like front end AI is a super cool tool. You basically like you can use text or image to create code. So I prefer to use text because I think more fun. So I just go there and like you type, hey, can you just code me a component for my GitHub page? And it gives you the code and the layout, and you can keep like fine tuning. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
And I'm gonna share the link in the chat in a minute. Another thing that I want to share, y'all. So we are open source, and as an open source project, we thrive for community support. So you can just like spend 1 minute of your time and go and start us. Like it means the world to us. We are building pretty fast. Like Webcram is a baby company. We're not even a year old. Julie started back in September, and she was solo until April when I joined. But you're growing pretty fast, and you can go even faster to help. And everything we do is free for the user and for the developer. So the plan is never charge the dev, and maybe even making some money. So that's what I have for you today. And our guest today, Vitor Norton, he's a developer advocate at Supervix, and he will teach us about PubSub Design Pattern for JavaScript. I
Yeah.
confess that I have a vague idea what design pattern is. I know nothing about PubSub, so I'm pretty excited to see what
Yeah, let's do this.
So the floor is yours. Let me share the things, and I'm gonna leave you. If you need me, I'm in the chat. See you soon.
Yeah. Thank you, Pachi, for this welcome environment, for this meetup. Thank you for inviting me to be here. So today, yeah, let's talk about the PubSub and other pattern designs with JavaScript, and we teach you what is design pattern, what is PubSub, and also another pattern design called observable. So just a little bit about myself, if my computer works. Let's try one more time. Yeah. Okay. So a little bit about myself. I have a strong .NET background. What this implies for this presentation? I see a lot of these patterns, a lot of these architectural decisions going on in .NET that people are studying in TypeScript and JavaScript in front-end languages that when you go in a in language like .NET or Java or I don't know. I think those main two. It's pretty easy when you come from this language to a TypeScript and JavaScript environment. But I have more than 5 years working with JavaScript, TypeScript, and React development. I also am a streamer at Twitch. I work as a dev advocate for Supervix, like Pachi said before. And just for me not to be this workaholic that always talks about work, I added two things about myself here: that I love Greek mythology, and that I'm passionate about movies and music. So let's go diving into design patterns. So the thing is, don't be afraid. Okay, it's not that hard. It's not that difficult. Design pattern is your friend. You shouldn't be like, oh, it's one more thing to study, or oh, it's one more thing to learn. They're here to be your friend. They're here to help. They're here to to assist you. Okay, it's easy. It's not complicated, and and I'm saying this way too much because I want you to understand that it is the names maybe sounds like a difficult thing or a really technical thing, but sometimes you're already doing that. Sometimes you're already coding that, but you didn't realize the name. So let's just break into what design pattern is. Okay, don't panic. Don't panic. Okay, just drink water, people. Okay, so design patterns, it's a standardized solution for your team. Okay, so if your team decides to name a function with a capital letter in the beginning, that's a standard for your team, right? But sometimes you move from teams for another team that doesn't have that standard. So once you figure it out, some pretty common and pretty decent, and people already agree on that, that is a design pattern that goes beyond your team. And it begins to be a big design pattern for the company and for the language itself. So the design patterns that I'm going to show you today, it's something like that. It's not a rule written in stone, but it's a guide for solving known and common problems that you may face when you're coding. Why? Because it makes it easier to write reusable and maintainable code. And like I said, I'm going to show you 2 design patterns today. But why to learn? Why? Because first of all, let's be honest, it boosts your career's prospects. Okay, so if you're searching for a job, if you're, I don't know, want to grow as your senior level or something like that, then you're probably going to be asked about, tell me 1 or 2 design patterns that you have been using or something like that in an interview job. So you have to learn a bit, because I was faced these questions a lot of times. It facilitates the communication, because there's this concept that you can go to someone and tell them, oh, this is a PubSub, and they will immediately, sorry about that, they will understand it quickly because they already know what it is, okay? Another good reason to learn is that it does improve your code quality, okay? Because when you share your code on GitHub, on open source projects, and stuff like that, people will learn, and will understand that you know that design pattern. And another big thing for me is that this expand what you can do. If you learn a new design pattern, if you understand what the problem that it's trying to solve, you're gonna be just like that. You're gonna explode your mind. It's gonna blow your mind, because it will expand what you can do. You will understand that you may have ways to do a thing, but when you learn how people are doing it, you may understand a lot of things that you can build on top of that. Okay, so let's hydrate again. So the first one that I want to show you today is the observer pattern. Okay, don't panic. Like I said, don't panic. Okay, I'm here to help. They are here to help. It's simple. It's widely used in messaging design, and especially in React, Redux, and sagas and stuff like that. What you need to know is that it contains 2 entities, okay? The subject and the observer. And what it does, basically, the subject maintains a list of its dependents called observer. So the subject maintains a list of observers, okay? Then the subject notifies the observers of any state change automatically. Okay, what that does mean? What does it mean? Okay, this is a technical thing, but let's go to a real scenario, okay? A real scenario where this can help. I have here Robert. Robert wants a new iPhone. We all want, right? And there is the store. We have these 2 characters, and there's 2 ways with solving Robert's wishes without the design pattern. So let's talk about it. The first way the first way, we see Robert going to the store to check if the new phone arrived. The store doesn't have it yet, so of course he goes another. Let's go, computer, please. Okay. So he goes again and again and again until it arrives. Okay. So Robert goes checking the store every single time to see if this information had arrived. So this is a fictional but realistic design situation, of course. And the thing is, how you would implement this, and when you're trying to code, you're going to use an endpoint or some call, and you're going to be the front end calling the back end every single time to understand if something new have arrived. So you're going to ping that endpoint every time. That's how we usually do, actually. So you have the refresh button and the content on the page updates because it touched the endpoint again. Yeah, of course, Robert has only 5% body fat. That's true. Yeah, the global state management, maybe, yeah, it's something like, we're going to talk about this later. So the second way to do it is the store. When the product arrives at the store, it sends notification to everyone. So the store knows that people are interested in learning what's arriving. So when something arrives at the store, it sends notification. Robert doesn't need to go to the store every day, so he's notified, and then he goes to the store. Problem solved, right? Wrong. Because, you can't send notification to everybody like that. It's spam. It's not good. It's not good. It doesn't work. So how can you do that better, right? So Robert tells the store he wants a new iPhone. When the new iPhone arrived, then it sends a notification to the subscribers. Okay? So only to the person who had said, oh, let me know if a new iPhone had arrived. Let me show this on code for you. And this is something like Redux and something like the state management, global state management, but kind of. It has more things than this. This is really simple code. But let's dive in. But let me drink a little bit water before. Okay, so we have here two classes to provide, the provider and observer. We have the store with its constructors and add mode and notify method function. And then we have the customer with an update. So how does this work? So the store, the usage is simple. I have a store, I have a customer, I create the store, I create the customer. When I go to the store, when the store is constructed, it's built, we have the observers. That's a list. Simple list, empty list, okay? When we add the customer, we go to the observer at the store and add it to that list, that observer. So the observers is every single unit, every single entity, every single object that is pushed using the add method, okay? So, and then we go to the store and notify iPhone 15, okay? So what does the code notify does in the store? You receive the product, you receive the string, okay? So for every observer, it goes on that observer In this case, the customer, but can add a lot of customers. It's a list. It goes to that customer, to that observer, and then call the method update from it, because the customer has this update method. Okay, and it passed the product that you received. So you pass iPhone 15. It goes over here, iPhone 15. The customer update. So it goes to this customer, it calls the update method, receiving an iPhone 15, and then console logs new product, add iPhone 15. Right? Simple. Not that hard. It's really simple. It's really isn't that big deal. So that's it. That's the first part. That's the first design pattern. Let's go to another one. The PubSub pattern. It works pretty close to what we've seen, but it does a little bit more. So the name is Publish Subscriber Pattern, but for close friends, we say PubSub. It's easier, okay? It contains two entities, the publisher and the subscriber. Oh, what a surprise. So how does it technically works? The subscribers connect to a topic. The publisher sends a message to that topic. The subscriber receives a message from that topic. Okay. It's kind of what we've seen before, but we still have these two characters, the Robert that wants the new iPhone and the store. But what the PubSub does is it adds something new right in the middle that we would, in this case, consider a marketplace, an e-commerce or something like that, like Amazon or something like that. That the store provides content to the marketplace, and Robert goes to the marketplace, not to the store directly. This means that Robert subscribes to the marketplace on the event new iPhone. It doesn't have the coupling of the subject and observer. The observer doesn't know about the subject, okay? So Robert subscribed to the marketplace, to the event new iPhone. The store published the arrival of the new iPhone to the marketplace. So the store doesn't know Robert. It doesn't. And then the marketplace tells Robert it arrived. Simple. It sounds like the same thing, but this is way better structure because you need to know about the people you're doing the messaging, right? So how does it look like? The first thing in the code, you will have this PubSub code. Sorry about my coffee. So we have this object called PubSub. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. So we have this method called subscribe. Okay, so you subscribe to the event new iPhone, new phone, not iPhone, any phone, new phone, and then you pass the callback function. Okay, so you will have this callback function that will receive the payload, and it will do something. I don't know what you're going to do, but it will do something. You can console in the log. You can use it to display a message, a notification. You can use it to do anything you want. It's not PubSub or the store business to know what you're going to do. Okay, so you can do anything you want. That's the deal, because that's the part that explodes your minds when you understand that you can do anything you want. This is actually, let me try to remember a few use cases for this. Okay, so real-time messaging, like we are doing now during this live stream, You type something, it publish to everyone that subscribed, everyone in the other side of the chat has this callback function that will receive the message that you input in the chat, and then it will display on the computer for the person. Another place that is used is for the sometimes Uber or delivery apps shows you the position of the car that you're tracking. So any place like that, this works. This is what it's doing. Okay. And then what is the publish? When you click enter in a message, for example, or in our case, the new font. So you call the PubSub and you publish a new font, and you pass, and you're going to input the object that you want to tell, the payload that it will receive. So you input an iPhone, okay? And when the callback function is called, you write that, okay? So you need to subscribe to that, okay? Okay, so here are a bit of the code of what PubSub looks like. This does the job. This is a really, really, really simple implementation, but it does the job, okay? So PubSub has these two methods. Let me try to have a laser pointer here. Okay, I have. We have these two functions, publish and subscribe. When you publish the event, you say the event name and the data that you want to publish, okay? So the first thing it will do, is to check if it does have this event. If it doesn't have this event, then it's not going to do anything first, okay? Nobody subscribed to it, nobody is using it, so let's forget about it. But if this event does exist, this event is a static object here, it's empty, we're going to see more about it later. But if it does exist, it will pass to that on every single event that's registered here, okay? And it's going to use the callback function. It's the same thing that we've seen before with observer pattern. Same thing, okay? Same thing. But it doesn't know the name of the event, the name of the function that it wants to talk about. If we go back to the observer pattern, you see that it's knowing the update function. It knows the name of the function of the customer, but the PubSub doesn't. Okay, that's the main definition. You have someone in the middle, someone. Okay, but it does the same thing. It receives the object, the function, the callback function, and it calls the callback function with the data. The subscribe, like, oh, I'm listening to whatever you're going to say. It's receiving an event name, so I'm listening when you talk about new font, okay? And when you talk about new font, the callback function is something that I'm going to call here on my end. So the thing is, if the event doesn't exist on our list, then it adds that event with an empty array, okay? And then it pushes the callback function to that array, okay? So you have an object with every, it's a graph. That's something that I learned pretty recently, actually. It's a graph object. So you have the object name, and then this object name will have the callback functions, the objects that are subscribed to it, okay? Yeah, I know it's a bit more complex, right? It's a bit, just a little bit, but it's okay. But I got you covered. Okay, I got you covered because this is not something that you need to do on your end. There are plenty of tools and frameworks that are available today that already does this PubSub and already does this, but it's quite nice to know when you work with such tools like we said it before, Redux and oh, I forgot. I feel one, but that's okay. So we have a lot of frameworks that does that for us, that helps manage the states, that help manage everything. But it's quite nice to understand how this does this work, right? But I'm going just to share a little bit about a framework that does this, that allows a real-time communication. That this is not the only one available in the market, but it's the one that I like the most. But the thing is, some frameworks create a concept of a room, like everyone in the room, independent of the device of the networking. Because if you do something that, like that, you will have how can I say? This works on your local machine, on your application only, because the PubSub is an object that only exists on your machine, on your local application running. If you call for another tab and you start another service or something like that, it would not share the same events. So you need someone in the middle to share events if you want to try to do this in a broadly network with multiple users, multiple participants, or something like that. Okay. So this is what Supervix does. You gather people in a room, every user in the room, and then with that information of the room, with that information of who is there, you can publish to everyone on that device, on that network, and they will receive the message. So this was the content that I want to show you today. I have here links for the resources. So I have these 3 posts on the dev community. You can quick scan the QR code, but I will make sure these slides is also available to everyone. I think Patty will help me make sure this is available to everyone with the links. I can hear you, but perhaps this might. No, it's not. No, I cannot hear.
That's me. I don't
Okay, yeah.
all the time. Yeah, it's because like there's a mute button in the app and there's a mute button on my microphone. I'm with both, and I forget to unmute both. So yes, I'm gonna create a thread on Discord, so we can share like all the links, and if you want to have share anything else there, it's gonna be the space. So thank you so much.
Thank you
for this. I'm gonna leave the slide a little more so everybody can scan the QR codes and use the links, but I'm gonna put it in the Discord later. And if you're not in our Discord channel yet, I'm gonna grab the link really quickly because it's a great place to, network, talk to people. And maybe you're watching this talk now and like, I don't have any questions right now, but then tomorrow I'm gonna be, I actually didn't have a question. So you can find here and find your speaker, find us. And thank you so much, Norton, for being here. So you clearly know well. And you do have in the beginning you say you don't want to show that I'm a workaholic, but that's why you showed us the entire talk that you are indeed a workaholic.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I forgive you.
Yeah. I didn't have a slide with questions or something like that, but I'm opening for questioning. I think we see. I think I covered some of the things that I was talking during the chat. But if I miss anything, please let me know.
But so please feel free to put any questions you have in the chat.
Or if you want
Yeah,
to follow me and direct message me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, any place. I'm also am in the Discord community of Webcrams, so I'm there. So you can call me there.
yes. So like Julia says, she's probably gonna have questions tomorrow. So if you have questions tomorrow, you can find
Okay, yeah,
her
you can
there.
find me there.
So yeah, you want me to read you the questions or with yourself?
Oh, you
I
can
know
do
you're,
it. You can do
I know
it.
you're a
You're the
streamer,
host.
so okay. So is observer pattern good when there are high frequent changes?
I don't think
Aditya
so.
asked.
I don't think so. That's a trick question because every everyone would say depends. It depends. Okay, but I don't think so. I think the observed pattern has a lot of coupling and we, to what the subject is, to, to what it is. So it will be bigger and will do a lot of processing. I think PubSub you kind of have more ways to manage um, what events you want to know, what to who you want to publish that information, right? So I have more control. But in the end, that depends on the specific scenario. I don't think that anyone is better than the other, or something like that. But the thing is, the observer is high coupled. I don't know. I forgot the word. And, and the pub sub is not.
So like getting back in this question, what do you think is like the ideal scenario to use that, like the best scenario, best user case?
A front end application like knowing itself, knowing its components on that end only, like Redux or React Redux, like we said before. So if you have this, let me think about one sample to show. You have this player, this web player like Spotify or Deezer or something like that. You want to make sure that the components are, when you click the play button, every component around you on the front end does the job, does what it's supposed to do after you play something. So I think this is a scenario that I will probably choose an observer pattern. But like I said, there's tools already like React Redux. I'm forgetting the name of other tools, but there's tools already that does that. Um, but this is a good scenario.
Got it. So Danilo asked a very important question. Do you know a Robert in real life? That's the picture on icon.
I cannot legally say or discuss that, so I will not.
Okay, I gotta make it. Okay. So Julia say PubSub for push notifications, probably yes.
Yeah. Push notifications
Very good.
does use that. It's a bit different, but yeah, probably every major PubSub framework right now has push notifications because it's the same concept, it's the same thing that's going on. The deal is, I'm here talking about only front end, but you can use this by publishing something by use a post or put endpoint and you publish to everyone there via webhook or something like that. So yeah, push notification works the same way.
So yes, Aditya says, Musabe think would make sense when there is asynchronous communication. It's like a publishing buffer and let's subscribe code whenever it wants to.
Yeah.
Cool. And that's very awesome.
Yeah. If
I,
you, I will, I will say something more. Uh, you can also have a moderator design pattern. Okay, the moderator design pattern is a bit. It's like a superset of the PubSub because it allows you to fetch the history of what the content of the events. So you can go there and say, oh, let me know the last 200 events sent to this event, 200 messages sent to this event. And the mediator, you can do things like, oh, I'm going to pass you the iPhone. But the mediator does this thing like, okay, for everyone that subscribes to that message, I will convert from dollars to reais or something like that. So you can do that with the mediator. It's another design pattern that I didn't cover, but I encourage you to read more about it because it does follow the path.
Okay. Julia say GitHub Auto uses callback endpoints and webhooks. Is it an example of PubSub?
I'm not familiar with GitHub also. I'm sorry. I just am not. I
Like,
cannot.
do you have any examples, like real cases that use PubSub? That are good examples?
Like I said, Uber does this a lot. Any chat application does this a lot. Another way to use it, you see, like every major collaborative tools like Google Docs or Miro or Figma, that you can see who is online on the page, see the mouse pointer of the person being dragged into the page, or even Visual Studio Code with the live share that you can type something and everyone in the same file will see what you're typing, what you're editing. This is also another case.
Okay. So let's say, can you tell me us a little bit more about Supervix? Like, when should look for it? Just give us our minute pitch about it.
Yeah. So Supervix helps you create real-time communication. So it has this real-time data engine that's our. Let me go back to one slide here, just quick. So you doesn't need to create the PubSub. You can use our real-time that does the same thing, same method, subscribe and publish, and we will share across everyone. We have like already built-in components of who is online, mouse presence, contextual comments, like adding comments to any place in the page. We have video components that also another way to real-time communications. So any video chat application or live stream, something like broadcasting.
If you want to share anything else, like the website, or feel free.
Let me try something here. I was not prepared, but I will. Okay.
Ha! Surprise!
Surprise! Yeah. So this is Supervix. I will share the link later on, but it's like I said, real-time messaging, video chatting. You can use mouse pointers to see who is online. You can follow someone. All of this uses real-time messaging in the back end. Okay, it's quite simple to use. Let me just go to vanilla JavaScript here a little bit. You create a room ID, like everyone that is inside this room will join this room, and you can add components like I said before. So this is a bit of Supervix. I'm glad to answer any more questions about it. But
so, like, was your interest in design patterns for JavaScript, you started studying that because of the work at Supervix, or something that you were interested in before?
I was interested before because I was before I worked at Supervix, I was looking for a job, and when you look for jobs, they ask these questions, and you don't know. probably use it, but you didn't know the name of it,
Mm-hmm.
So that was my deal. But then work at Supervix, I had to learn a lot about the PubSub, a lot about how it works. So I said to myself, okay, uh, and that's something that intrinsic about me, and I think Pachi and everyone who works with developer advocacy is that I want to share everything that I know, everything that I discover, everything that I study. It's the best way to improve myself, the best way to help the community. We do believe in collaboration, in building stuff together, and so I was like, okay, I have to share about it.
That's so Julia asked for book recommendations about design patterns. Julia, you haven't read too many books.
Okay, so I don't have a book recommendation, but I have a really good website to share. That's the Refactoring Guru. Okay, he does have a book and stuff like that, but this website has like I was talking about behavioral components here, like the observer, the mediator component. He has the book, but here you can learn about any not any because there's many, but the most used, the most the most famous one. Let's say like that. With code examples in several languages. You also have this nice refactoring tools like what you should look like, what how to handle things when you're code, what is code smell, how to handle code smells, why you should do that, how to treat that, stuff like that. It's an amazing website with a lot of content, and I think it's not a book, but it does the same. It does the job. It's a lot. It helps a lot.
It's pretty in that book, though.
Yeah, and I think the illustrations works pretty nice as well because
Mm.
that's something that I'm passionate about. So let's go to the observer. So this is the illustration for the observer. Everybody observing the subject, right? This is amazing. This is amazing.
So I thanks everybody for joining us today. If you have any question, please send in the chat. I'm gonna create a little thread on Discord, like with the information of this meetup for people that couldn't join today. And I'm gonna put all the links that Norton showed today.
Yeah,
And then
I'm gonna be on that thread. So you have any follow up questions? I'm gonna be there. Just ping me.
And like, if you just joined us, like we're gonna have the recording up here soon, and I'm gonna share that on Discord as well. So if you have any questions, you have like is your last few minutes to share questions. Like I always have questions after like these streams are over. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
but yeah. So I don't think I have another question. Let me look at my notes. No, I think like.
Thank you.
So yes, thank you so much, Norton, for joining us today. And let's get better soon.
Thank you for the
Madam
space.
Brad. Okay. And thanks everybody for joining us. Let me share the Discord link once more. So if you're not there yet, you can join us. And okay. Thank you so much for joining us, ever. Have a good night or day. I don't know what time is, people. Good morning, maybe. And we're gonna have another meetup this month on the 17th. So I'm gonna talk about that soon. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I hope to see you in the next meetup. Bye-bye.
Bye.